Your students are getting used to being told they are right, and AI is reinforcing that habit every time they use it. Recent research shows that AI systems tend to affirm user thinking instead of challenging it. That means when students check their work, test an idea, or ask if their reasoning makes sense, they often receive validation instead of critique. The issue is not accuracy, the issue is what students are not experiencing. They are not being pushed to reconsider weak reasoning. They are not being asked to defend their thinking against strong counter arguments. And over time, that changes how they approach learning. So instead of expecting to revise and refine, they begin expecting confirmation. You can see this already in classrooms. A student drafts an argument, runs it through AI, and receives feedback that sounds supportive and complete. The student submits the work believing it holds up, but the thinking was never stress tested. No one asked where the reasoning breaks. No one challenged the evidence. No one required the student to sit with uncertainty. That is where the real loss happens. The ability to tolerate being wrong, to adjust the position, to strengthen an idea under pressure. Those are the conditions that produce critical thinking. When those conditions disappear, students may still produce work, but the depth behind it weakens. The common response is to warn students not to rely on AI, but that does not address the pattern. Students will continue to use it. The instructional decision is to design moments where AI cannot be the final voice. One practical move that you can use is to require a counterposition step in any assignment where AI is used. After students generate or revise an idea, they must identify the strongest opposing argument and respond to it using evidence, not as an add-on, but as a required part of completion. Another move is structured peer critique, where students are expected to question reasoning directly, not just affirm what works. This reintroduces the intellectual friction AI often removes. The risk, if this is ignored, is not simply that students become dependent on tools. It is that they become less willing to question themselves. That shows up in discussion, writing, and how they respond to disagreement. This is not about removing AI. It is about making sure it does not become the only feedback loop in students' experience. If the only voice students hear is the one that confirms their thinking, they lose practice in the very habits that learning depends on. Schools have to deliberately build those habits back in. That means creating spaces where ideas are tested and not just accepted, where students expect challenge, not just support. AI can assist the process, but it cannot replace the discomfort that thinking requires. If students leave school without that, they may feel confident in their ideas, but they will not know how to strengthen them.